If I, as a Democrat, disagree with you as a Republican, I'm not going to question your motive. I'm not going to question your allegiance to this country. We are actually stoking division in our country when we call those who disagree with us un-American. That is what is un-American.
After years of divisiveness, after years of claiming that the Trumper is the modern day version of Adolf, after years of referring to over half the country as Nazis, after years of disparaging and discrediting normal people, all of a sudden, AOC LGBT is preaching a message of unity. U-N-I-T-Y. I wonder why. I wonder why Alex is suddenly the peacemaker. I wonder why Ocasio is reaching out to normal people, hoping they will embrace her soft hands that are responsible for building absolutely nothing. Both AOC and Bernie Sanders, they were on stage last night. Combined, they have lived 120 years. Now, obviously, most of those 120 years were lived by Bernard. Hell, Bernie has been knocking on heaven's door since he starred in his autobiographical documentary Weekend at Bernie's in the early 90s. 120 years combined between AOC, LGBT, and her emotional support Bernie. And in those 120 years, neither one of them are responsible for building a damn thing. Now, they are brilliant when it comes to destruction. If you don't believe me, ask the constituents of their districts. But as is the case with all communists, we're not communist, we're democratic socialist. Yeah, you know, Lucifer doesn't refer to himself as the devil either. He claims to be a fallen angel. Either way, he is still demonic. You can call it whatever you want: socialism, democratic socialism, garbage, polished turd, socialist republic, woke, progressivism. The name constantly changes, but the end result of communism is always the same: huge, embarrassing failure. Last night, CNN hosted a town hall with AOC, LGBT, and Bernie Sanders. For reasons unknown, they selected Caitlin Collins, Katie Rue. They selected the girl named Rue to moderate this exciting event, which is somewhat surprising since the last time Rue moderated a town hall, she was such an embarrassment. She was such a dramatic failure. CNN fired her boss for putting Rue in a position that she was not qualified to be in. I have a feeling the reason Rue was selected for this town hall last night, both CNN and the duo of socialist failures, they knew she would not press them for real answers. Rue would not hit them with gotcha questions. You know, questions like, socialism is associated with centuries of failure and is responsible for the deaths of over 100 million people. Why in the hell are you bringing that oppressive system here to America? Instead of asking real questions, CNN allowed Democrats to use their microscopic platform in a desperate attempt to showcase their preferred candidate for 2028. Democrats are begging you. They are begging you to embrace AOC. Unfortunately for the party of failure, the performance we saw last night reminded viewers of cackling Cam Harris, and AOC once again proved why she is nowhere near qualified to be president. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's go and get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Sugar Mountain Trading. As you guys know, I've got young nephews. The oldest is 8, my youngest nephew is 6. Like most young kids, they deal with various skin ailments. Psoriasis, eczema, itchy, dry skin. Hell, I'm not a doctor. I'm not qualified to diagnose what the hell it is. I just know it is a nuisance they no longer have to deal with because my sister started using oat and honey soap from Sugar Mountain Trading. This soap is ideal for sensitive skin, offering a gentle yet effective solution for various dermatological issues. Its American-made origins guarantees the highest standards of production. Also comes available with CBD. So if you're dealing with skin issues and pain at the same time, CBD version, take care of both. You'll be pain-free and smelling like fresh raspberries. Hell, that is literally the reason that my wife uses it. She uses the standard CBD oil for pain, but she prefers the soap because it smells good. Like I said, the oat and honey soap is available with or without CBD. So become pain-free while smelling fresh today by clicking the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL20. Save 20% off your first purchase with Sugar Mountain Trading. Right now, the Democrats are falling faster than pants at the Butt Bongo Festival. One of the reasons they're failing, besides the fact that they're the party of misery, they're the party of outcast, Democrats have allowed themselves to be taken over by woke wanker spankers who spent their high school years with their head in the toilet. One of the reasons that the Democrats are failing, they have no leadership. Think about it. Who is the leader of the Democratic Party? Hell, who would want to lead this dump? If you ask Gabby Newsom, I'm sure Gabby would say that he is the leader. Of course, no one believes it. Every day, Gabby loses followers as millions of people leave the People's Republic of California. I know Don Trump gets all the credit for solving the immigration problems at the southern border, but the real credit, it should be given to Gabby Newsom. He has made life so miserable in the People's Republic that citizens are leaving California to live in straw huts in Mexico. Seriously, who is the leader of the Democratic Party? Uncle KC, what about Elizabeth Warren? She's swell, and she reminds me of the local librarian. Unfortunately, Liz doesn't have time to be the leader. She is far too busy strategizing with Squanto, formulating battle plans to take back land from the evil white colonizers. Oftentimes, when organizations don't have a leader, when they don't have a face of the organization that rises organically, they'll try to force you to embrace their chosen one. When Hulk Hogan, I am a real American. When Hulk Hogan left the WWF in the early 90s, Vince McMahon tried to replace him with the Ultimate Warrior. When that didn't work, he tried to replace him with Lex Luger. He paid thousands of dollars for this doofus bust that eventually was donated to the WNBA so players could travel safely to road games. Vince McMahon called it the Lex Express. He had Lex Luger tour the country in this mobile home, begging children and grown men who picked their boogers to accept him. It failed miserably. And the reason it failed miserably is because it was not organic. It wasn't real. Right now, the Democrats are doing the same with AOC LGBT. She is their chosen one. They're hoping the face of diversity can be their hero. I can be your hero, baby. Now, to her credit, AOC is really good at polishing the turd. She's really effective at convincing kids in their 20s with no life experience who are as clueless as a virgin on prom night. AOC is good at convincing them that communism is the answer. Both AOC and Bernard, they are proficient at stoking your emotions. They might not be capable of building anything productive, but like most communists, they are proficient at building emotional outrage. Watch for yourself.
Women are inferior, they do not deserve equal rights, that they believe that LGBTQ Americans are subhuman, that they believe and are circulating disgusting racial and white supremacist messaging that they are able to get away with digitally and online. And they are able to radicalize and target and exploit a generation of young boys, in particular, away from healthy masculinity and into an insecure masculinity that requires the domination of others who are poorer, browner, darker, or a different gender than them.
We had a housing crisis, a healthcare crisis, an education crisis, massive income and wealth inequality, a corrupt campaign finance system. We're living in the richest country in the history of the world, right? All right, you tell me why we're the only nation not to guarantee health care to all people, the only nation not to guarantee paid family and medical leave, why we have a $7.25 an hour minimum wage, why we have 800,000 people sleeping out on the street, why we have a president who denies the reality of climate change.
Did you notice that no one in the audience was clapping during either one of their emotional tirades? Did you notice that the audience didn't interrupt and support their heroes with praise? I love you, Bernard. I love you, Alex. Your music inspires me. AOC, it's easy as LGB. It's simple as TQI. AOC, LGB boys can become girls. There wasn't a single person in the audience clapping for this bullshit. Why? Because they've heard it all before. This is the same platform that we saw with John Biden. It's the same failed platform that they used last year with cackling Cam Harris. Did you notice that AOC and Bernie Sanders, they did not offer a single solution to these so-called problems? Did you notice that? You want to know why they didn't offer a solution? For starters, they know they don't have a solution that would receive national support. Because when it comes to communism, the solution is always the same. They are going to take your money. They are going to give a minuscule portion of that money to government programs, while the overwhelming majority of the money will be kept for themselves. This weekend, Democrats are having heavily funded protests across the country that they are pretending are grassroots. No kings, just queens. No kings, just queens. Watch what happens next week. As soon as the No Kings protests are over, Democrats will magically open the government back up. The reason they have held out this long is because they are absolutely terrified of the radicals in their own party. They're terrified that these protests would become unreasonable or possibly even violent if they were perceived to be working with Donald Trump. You see, Donald Trump has the Democrats backed into a corner. Matter of fact, the Trumper has damn near dismantled the entire Democratic Party. They can't accuse him of being a Nazi anymore. They can't accuse him of being a warmonger because he just negotiated a ceasefire, maybe even a peace agreement in the Middle East. They can't accuse him of being friends with Vlad Putin because he's been critical of Vlad Putin in Russia. They can't dispute his policies on crime because Donald Trump has cleaned up crime in major cities. To make matters worse, Democrats can't rely on their foundational platform because it doesn't exist. For the last 10 years, their platform has been Orange Man bad. And now they are coming to the harsh realization that it's not working. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.